anytime you've been able to carve out a space to sit and feel, it's like it's still, every morning to wake up with this type of grief, collective grief is powerful in that it connects us in our anger, in our sadness. But it can also be a time in which we can collectively gather and take action. So on Monday, on Memorial Day, I know it's a time to honor those who have passed away in battle, but to also, for this time, the battle that's our daily life, it seems like in the US. So I'm going to teach a benefit class, and the proceeds will go to every town, and they do a lot of work on the ground to help to stop gun violence, and mostly to work within communities to get people active and involved, because we can feel so powerless. But I feel like anytime that we can take our seat, for me, I go from, states of, just feeling despondent and not being able to take action to sitting up a little taller. Always reminds me of Arjuna's battle to fight, right? In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is a warrior prince, who's called to action. Especially us as yogis, we do all of this practice, and then here's a moment in which we're needed to fight. And he, like so many of us, says, I will not fight, so this is a time to sit up. And we can focus so much on politics and politicians, where there's so much work to be made. Definitely want to change our legislation, but I feel like at the heart of our culture, it's just so sick right now. And yoga can be such a part of personal healing. And in that way, seeing how we can be a part of a real shift in our culture. So take a couple of deep, full breaths. One of the things that yoga has made me is this awareness, where we become more aware, become more sensitive. Instead of being desensitized or a lot of the time in denial, we become more aware, more awake, and in that way more proactive. Take another big breath in. You can join your hands to your heart in prayer. And there are a lot of memes out there saying we don't want your effing prayers or love, but they are powerful, from where we can turn them into action. Even turning our thoughts towards the families that must be in so much pain is a powerful practice. And so if there is a prayer or even an intention, which we start our practice with, what is it that you would like to awaken in your practice today? And how would you like it to be of benefit? To our world. breath in. And as you exhale, you can release your hands down and just come on forward onto your hands and your knees. The cat toy under my mat. And then send your hips to your heels. And stretch your arms forward for a child's pose. These movements are prayers. And so begin to deepen the rhythm of the breath. If we're praying for peace, we'll move more peacefully. We pray for more love. We move with an offering gesture. Healing, you can move more gently. But we move in a way to where we're welcoming back what we're offering. And we offer out what we're receiving. So let the next breath lift you out onto your hands and your knees. Drop your belly as you breathe in to look up. And then tuck your toes under, press into the hands, lengthen the legs into downward dog, breathing all the way out to the depths of your exhale. Absolutely pedal your feet from side to side, bend your knees, straighten them one at a time. You can even close your eyes for a couple moments and go inside of the shape. Every pose is awakening different energies. And then let the next inhale take you forward into your plank pose. Press the ground away as you lift the navel and the ribs. Reach back through the heels. And then release your knees to the ground, your chest and chin. Hugging the elbows in, stretch out through the throat. Then drop into the belly. Even take your arms forward for a full pranam, offering the fruits of your practice as a gift. And walk your hands on either side of your rib cage for a cobra. So press into the tops of the feet, allowing the heart to rise up. And then press back onto your hands and your knees for child's pose. Coming back here anytime you need. And then rise back up onto your hands and your knees. Stretch the right leg back as you breathe in to look up. And then exhale, draw the right knee in towards the nose. Again, like that, swing your leg all the way back up, look up. And then exhale, feel the belly lift as you climb inside. One more time, offer the right leg up. And then extend that left arm forward. So you're reaching out from your center. And take a deep breath in. And then exhale. As you release the right knee down, you're going to slide the left arm under and take your ear to the earth. Take your right arm forward. You can take the right hip back, move a little from side to side. And then slide your right hand down, press into the right shin, stretch the left leg back and peel open the left arm into a supported side plank. As you draw the belly in towards your center, maybe you'll be able to lift the top leg up. Maybe you can stretch the left arm all the way up. And then we'll come into a plank pose, a big breath in here, lower yourselves down, knees, chest and chin as you breathe out. Drop the belly, stretch the arms forward, full pranam. As you inhale, cobra, press into the hands, lift the shoulder, elbows in, breathe in. And then back into child's pose as you breathe out. Coming out towards center and stretch the left leg back. As you exhale, knee to the nose. Again, arch the spine, breathe in, look up. Knee to the nose, left knee hugs in. And then one more time, reach the left leg out. Right arm comes forward. Take a big breath in. And then drop that left shin to the ground
And thread the right shoulder to the ground and your left arm over your head. Move your left hip so that you're drawing the hip center over the heels. And then walk your left hand back. Seal the left shin to the ground. Stretch the right leg back and the right arm. Right arm up and over your head. Maybe as you hug the ribs in towards your center, you can pick up that right leg. That's our center for action. Right there at your navel. Plank pose again as you breathe in. This time stay lifted in your belly as you lower all the way down. Maybe a little higher cobra as you point your toes. Peel up the chest. Look up. And then exhale into downward dog. As you breathe in, extend the right leg up and into the sky for a 3-leg dog. And then you're going to tap your left elbow with your right knee. Inhale, swing it all the way back. Tap the right elbow with the right knee. Right leg all the way into the sky, and then step right between your hands. Press into the left hand and pick up the right arm, twisting as you draw both shoulders back, let the hips sink down. And then circle the right hand down to the ground. Breathe in and look up. And see if you can tuck the left knee right behind the right ankle. Come into a seated spinal twist with the right arm up. Hug your right shin in, or the left arm up, and then hug your right shin in as you look past that right shoulder. Come through center, hands behind you, feet in front of you, lift the hips. Stick out the tongue, breathe out through the mouth. Release your hips down for an early Navasana. You're going to hug the knees in. Allow the shins to be parallel towards the ground and then extend the arms forward. So we're stoking this fire in the belly, but it's more, not to be aggressive, but to allow all of our actions to stem from what we hold in our heart. Stretch the legs nice and long. And then cross the ankles, roll forward, plank pose. Lower down. If you're ready for chaturanga, hover. If not, to the ground. Cobra or upward dog. If you're ready, slide the shoulders back, thighs lift, arms are long. And then exhale into downward facing dog. As you breathe in, extend the left leg high. Carry the knee across and tap the right elbow. All the way up and back, 3-legged dog. Tap the left elbow with the left knee as you bend the knee all the way back up again as you breathe in. As you exhale, knee to the nose, and then drop your foot between your hands as you twist. Draw your shoulder back, lift up through the inner right thigh. Excuse me, and then circle the hands down. Tuck the right foot behind the left, followed with the knee as you have a seat, right arm up. Twist over to the left as you hug your shin in, dropping down through that left hip. Sit up nice and tall. And then breathe out, looking back. Come through center for that same kind of reversed vinyasa. So you lift the chest, press down into the feet. Exhale through the mouth. Your lion. Sitting bones to the ground, shins parallel as you lift the chest. And then take the arms forward. You can lengthen out through the legs here. And then cross your ankles. Roll back to your plank pose. And again, lower halfway, all the way, or anytime, no way. And we'll meet it downward dog. So the shoulders roll back as you breathe in, look up. And then exhale into downward dog. From here, bend the knees. Breathe in, look forward. Step, step, hop or walk to the top of your mat. Slide your hands up your shins and breathe in. And exhale to fold into your legs. Root down into your feet. Rise on up. And exhale the hands to your heart. Adjust this camera a little bit. So our vinyasa is going to be a little different. We're going to start out in Utkatasana as usual, this great powerful pose. As you draw the thighs in and tailbone so that we can begin to lift this energy up from within us as you sink down. And then as you take your hands to the ground, you can grab a hold of a block. We're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana. We know it's kind of intense for the first standing pose, but it's such a generous pose as we radiate out all of this energy, as a prayer we want to send out. And then bend through the right knee for your warrior two. Draw the right knee back, sink down nice and deep. Peaceful warrior as you breathe in. Arch all the way back. And then extended side angle with the right forearm to the thigh, left arm up and over your ears. You can touch the earth with the right hand. Still press the pelvis forward, lean into that inner right knee to open up. Take your hands to the inside of the right foot. Hug the right knee to the upper right arm and see if you can pick up your right foot. So you're really pressing there. From there, it's plank to lower down, halfway or all the way. Cobra or up dog. And downward dog as you breathe out. A bend in your knees to inhale, look forward. Step, step, hop or walk. Hands up your shins, breathe in, look up. Exhale, fold into your legs. Deep bend in your knees to breathe in, circle the arms up, hips low. And then hands to the ground. So it's Ardha Chandrasana. Shift the weight into the left hand. Left foot, peel open. Exhale as you bend through the knee and inhale, rise up. Warrior two. Take a couple breaths here, feeling the strength of those legs. And again, it's this generous radiating of the arms. Tip backwards for your peaceful warrior. Extended side angle with your forearm to your thigh. And take a couple of breaths here, taking the left knee back, tailbone pelvis forward to arch back. And then maybe touching the ground with the left hand, getting a little deeper into the hips. And then circle the hands down, turning out the left toes a little bit to breathe in and look up. And then as you exhale, hug the knee to the upper arm, pick up your heel, plank pose, and lower down half or all the way. Rising up, big breath in. And downward facing dog as you breathe out. Bend your knees, breathe in, look up. Step, step, hop or walk. Slide your hands up your shins, breathing in and exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees, rise up, Utkatasana. And then again, hands to the ground as you breathe out. Inhaling to open up, Ardha Chandrasana. If you're ready for full moon or Chapasana, you can reach back for the top of that left foot, lean back, and then make your way back into your peaceful warrior. The arm variations can be bending through your left arm, maybe the right hand follows. For Gomukhasana, that little pull to open up through the chest and then straighten out through the right leg. Begin to make your way towards triangle pose. Pause halfway to twist open through the chest. And then slide the right hand down and the left arm up. As you make your way through extended side angle, maybe it's a half bind or a full bind. And pelvis can come forward as you lift and open through the chest. Take your hands back to the inside of the right foot. Breathe in and look up. And then see if you can step forward into Malasana. So hips low. Hands to your heart in prayer. Press your palms into the ground. Hop your feet together. Standing forward, bend. Bend your knees, rise back up. Utkatasana. Uttanasana as you breathe out. Ardha Chandrasana, one big breath in. Peel the right leg up. Maybe bend through the right knee and reach back for the top of the foot, leaning back. Bend through that left knee as you circle the right arm all the way up.
And then land in your warrior two as you exhale. Tipping back for either the full Gomukhasana or snake your right hand between your shoulder blades. Lean backwards a little bit. Let the breath open up through the chest. And then straighten out through the left leg. Come forward halfway, but twist the chest open before allowing the arms to expand outward. These deep roots into the feet. It really is this beauty of the flowers keep opening up. And this is such the gift of yoga. No matter what, I see these flowers bursting through the concrete. We can keep our beautiful hearts open. You can find your bind here or not. In your extended angle, half bound, full bound. And then take your hands back to the inside of the right foot. Turn the toes out, breathe in, look up. And then step back into Malasana. A little squeeze of the sitting bones. Draw the chin in towards the throat. And this time, check out crow pose as you plant the hands down, shift the weight forward. You can play with lifting up through one foot, maybe the other, but hug the knees in right in towards your center. And then step back plank or jump right into Chaturanga. Cobra or upward dog as you breathe in. And downward facing dog as you breathe out. As you inhale, extend the right leg up to the sky. We're going to step forward for warrior one. Seal the back heel, press into the right foot and rise up. And then begin to lengthen out through the right leg, open up through the elbows, find your hands behind the heart. You can grab a hold of your elbows so that the chest expands, the hips are reaching forward this time. Lean back, press into the inner left thigh. And then you can spill the chest forward over the right leg. Put a little bend into the right knee. We're going to prepare for warrior three. Lift the shoulders, lift the elbows so that the prayer is guiding the full action. Keep the toes tucked under. Keep your breath nice and deep in that warrior breath, your Ujjayi breathing. And then as you come through center, you're going to wrap the left leg around the right once or twice. Left arm under. Your toes can find the ground. Lift the elbows up. Big breath in. And then exhale to come forward. As you unravel, feet together, arms up, Utkatasana, let the hips drop back. Twist over to the right this time. So you're taking your left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Keep your hips neutral. Palms together as you twist a little deeper. And then see if you can shift the weight into the right foot. Send the left leg back. You can release the left knee to the earth for more stability to really twist from those guts. The center of this revolution we need to be a part of. Your arms can open, they can extend in any way that you'd like. And then circle the hands down, swing the right leg up to the sky. You're going to take the right knee all the way across this time towards the left elbow. And then see if you can shoot the leg out to the side for a fallen triangle. Taking a deep breath in. You draw the thighs together, see if you can pick up the right foot. And then circle the hand down. See if you can wrap the right leg around the left for eagle legs. In your downward dog, eagle dog. And then you're going to come on over to the outer edge of the left foot. Grab a hold of the right knee. For your side plank, take a deep breath in. Maybe you'll lift the leg up. Maybe you'll take the foot behind you, arch back. As you come through center, child's pose is a great option, or make your way through
the movement of the vinyasa. We'll meet up in downward dog with a big breath out. It's your left leg up to the sky, stepping forward for warrior one. Press deeply into the left foot and rise up. Straighten out through the left leg, bend the elbows, palms behind the heart, or grab a hold of the elbows. It's a little narrower stance. Drop the right hip forward, but reach back through the inner right thigh. And exhale, come forward. A little bend into the knee. Hands can find blocks if you need to release them anytime. Letting the head go. And lengthening the back of the left leg, just being mindful that not locking in the joints. Thighs are actively lifting to support the release and surrender of your head. And then we're going to come up halfway for warrior three. So send the right hip down, look up, and then begin to lift that right leg. Your chest is parallel toward the ground. As you come through center, wrap the right leg around once or twice, and the right arm under. Take the right hip back and breathe in, look up, and then come on forward. Again, these moments have us really look and see what's going on in the world, but also our own. For me, I become more aware, more awake towards every single moment. So precious. Arms up and then twist over to the left. Twisting from the belly, take the right knee back to meet the left and sink down a little deeper. And then you can pick up the right leg, extending your leg back. Again, anytime, I always like to have the knee down to find that deeper twist. You see all that rotation I was able to get. And seeing even if you can keep that as you re-engage the right leg. When you're ready to release, freeing the left foot with your two hands, send the left leg back up, and then take it across to the outside of the right elbow. Right hand as you pick up the right arm. Lift the left leg if you can. And then as you circle the right hand back down, you're coming into your eagle legs. So it is this coming inward into this prayer for sure, what's inside. And then we do want to radiate it out. So shift the weight into the hands. Grab a hold of that left knee as you open up through the chest. Lengthen out through the right leg if you can, and then extend outward. Take your foot back and behind you, arch back as you flip it around to lower. Halfway or all the way. Actually, this time come all the way down onto your bellies. And rise up into Sphinx pose. So your forearms are to the ground, shoulders back. And taking a couple breaths here, again, feeling this, the Sphinx is half human and half lion. Kind of feel like this is what we're called on at this time, to be brave, to be courageous, to go beyond our own comfort zones for this higher purpose. And then you can begin to tuck the toes under, and then see if you can lift yourself up, drawing the sides of the belly in, taking a couple breaths here. And then your hips can come up to the ground. Now this is your preparation for an inversion. So you're welcome to take the knees back down. Take yourself over to a wall, if you have one, or come into the prep, dolphin pose. You can interlace your hands around each other, bend the knees, send the hips back, and come forward a couple times, strengthening in the arms. If inversions aren't in your practice or you don't feel safe doing them on your own, I totally get that. If you are coming up, you can lift one leg and then the other. So either forearm stand or headstand, whichever one, or even handstand, right? So it is time to flip our perspectives. We all want to flip something else, our anger, as we should, but then turning it into action. I'm going to take headstand today. And look your feet in, draw in towards your belly. And then lift the legs up. If you're at a wall, you're welcome to let the heels rest. Taking a few breaths wherever you are. And then beginning to make your way down. Sending your hips to your heels. So take your time. If you're still in your inversion practice, excuse me. And then we'll all meet having a seat on our heels and coming into hero's pose, Virasana. So if you have a block or a blanket, you place it between your heels. You do want the heels going out towards the outer edges of the hips. And opening up the kneecaps. This is great for the tops of the feet. Health of the joints. If you have a tendency to overarch the low back, you want to begin to shift the weight into the sit bones a little bit so that the pubis lifts and navel hugs back to the spine. And again, we have this center of stability of our self. And then you can draw the shoulders back. And taking a few breaths here. And this is, again, such a regal pose to see ourselves as heroes of heroines in this world. Instead of, I see a hero as, yes, fighting for the greater good, but also this feeling of being able to save, to help, to serve. And you begin to interlace the hands behind you to lift and open through the chest. As you exhale, lead with the chest. You can one more time come onto the crown of the head, the arms up and over your head. And then as you come on back up, lift your arms up to the sky. You can tuck your toes under and then take your hands behind you for camel pose. So slide the sacrum down. If you can flip the palms upward, elbows in to lift and open through the chest. Press the pelvis forward. And then you can slide your hands towards your ankles. Now, if you do have blocks, you can take them to the inside of the ankles and use them as stilts. Yeah, to lift the ground up a little bit more. I'm just using one, but if you have two. Take a big breath in. And then release down as you breathe out. Come back onto your hands and your knees. And make your way into downward facing dog. And then as you breathe in, lift the right leg up. We're going to set up for pigeons, so slide the right shin forward. You can take a block underneath your right hip. And then sitting up tall again. So you can draw the right hip forward. Reach the shoulders back. You can come down, again, if you need a more healing variation of the pose. More active one would be to take it into an active back bend. So you can reach back, for the top of the left foot, take the right arm up, maybe all the way towards the foot. But this radiating your beauty, changing our own ways to be a part of changing these, being a part of these shifts. As you exhale, tumble the arms down. Take a few moments. You can come onto your forearms or all the way down. You can take a twist and a shoulder stretch by taking the left arm under and the right arm over your head. And then when you're ready to switch out your legs, step back into downward dog, pedal out your feet if you need, and then extend your left leg up, sending the left shin forward. Walk your hands back, lift and open through the chest. And taking the active variation or make your way down. We'll all meet on our forearms. You can either twist or stay where you are, breathing. Any little rocking. And so profound for our nervous system. And this time you can begin to walk your hands back up. Remove the padding from underneath your left hip. Take your feet out and in front of you. Hands behind you for your tabletop. Exhale through the mouth. And then lower yourself down onto your back. Nice and slowly for bridge pose. So if you know you'd like to use some support, like a block underneath your sacrum, make sure you have something. This is a nice way to be held. And we're nurtured in the pose. If you don't have a block, you can interlace your hands underneath you, waddling the shoulders, pressing into the feet to lift up. And you can release your hips onto your interlaced arms, allowing the chest to breathe, the lungs to expand. And then you can begin to come on up again, lifting up for a half or a supported wheel. And if you'd like to add on your full wheel, rising up to the crown of your head, and then elbows in, knees in as you rise up. You can lift up onto your tippy toes, rocking a little further back and forth. And then when you're ready to make your way down, come on down. Take your hand one to your belly, one to your heart. So aligning our actions with our connection to the world around us. And then you're welcome to come up for one more back bend or stay where you are. You can take the soles of the feet together, knees wide. Or make your way out to either a full wheel, a half wheel. Opening up and awakening any trapped energy. You can begin to move your knees a little bit from side to side, windshield wiper through the knees. And then
a gentle hug of your knees in towards your chest so that it's not too strong, especially if you did some deep back bends, more like little circles. And then lift your knees up. See if you can reach for your big toes for happy baby, drawing the knees back. And rocking a little bit from side to side. And straighten up through the legs using the support of the earth to keep the spine long, shoulders back, and the legs can begin to expand. Breathing into the backs of the legs, the hips, rocking if you need. And then take the soles of the feet together. And then, if it's comfortable, a little rock and roll up to sit. Or you can roll over to the right side and make your way up. And then we're going to take a twist with the right shin forward and the left leg behind you. So this is a half Virasana in the direction of lotus. So if the foot wants to come up onto your thigh, that's in your practice. You can take the half lotus variation. But I like how this is a balance of this Virasana, that we're half one side of our brain and then the other one, this beautiful opening. So twist over to the right. Your left hip will definitely lift. And see if you can send it back a little bit. But you're going to take your gaze past your left shoulder, adding more beauty to the world. These poses are a reminder of our grace in the midst of our quite toxic culture. Gently breathing in and out. And then you can come through center, kind of keeping everything as it is, straighten the right leg out to the side as far as it'll go. And then you're gonna thread the right arm. Maybe it's underneath towards the left heel or just the forearm to the ground. And then twist over to the other side, taking a hold of the right foot with the left hand and twist open through the chest. It can be in the direction, you can lift your head up. You can take your hand to your ear. And then from here, as you rise up, you can press into the right hand, lift the hips up, big breath in. And as you release down, give a hug of your left heel towards your sitting bone, keeping the joint stable. And then you'll take the left knee open and take the top of the right foot to the ground. So you're coming into Vajrasana or sage pose on the other side. So again, you'll twist over to the left, drop the right hip down a little bit, half lotus. You can bind all the way behind you with the left hand to the left foot. And then look past the right shoulder so you're opening up the neck muscles, drawing that left shoulder down. Further opening up our instrument of our voice to speak up, to speak out. And then you can lengthen out through the left leg if that feels comfortable. Threading the left arm underneath, dropping down towards the left forearm, and then reaching for your left toes with the right hand. Peeking out underneath, or stretching, you can come up a little bit higher. And then rise up to sit. Take your left hand behind you, root down and lift up. And release your hips down. This time take a hold of your right ankle, taking the leg wide. And then anything that you have to stack up in front of you, pillows or blocks, to come forward towards your Upavishta Konasana, or the straddle forward bend. You can come onto your forearms, rock a little bit. You can take your head down, reach for your ankles, but turn them out. And then begin to slowly rise on up to sit. And then from here, cross one ankle, cross the other ankle. We'll just come up to sit for a couple moments on our way into Shavasana. Some of the things that can sound like, a little disdainful of taking a moment of silence or prayers when it seems inert. But it still is a powerful practice, pausing in silence. That we're less reactive. It can come from a place of deep integration. It's a wonderful book I always had near me, The Art of Forgiveness, Loving Kindness, and Peace, from Jack Cornfield. Is to remember the transforming power of forgiveness and loving kindness, to remember that no matter where you are, what you face within your heart, peace is possible. Just on the back, it says that this beautiful and graceful little book, it was written for what everyone was going through during 9/11. So much anger, so much rage, so much hatred. He offers up these words, that hatred never ceases by hatred, but by love alone is healed. They're from the Buddha. Like a caring mother holding and guarding the life for only child, so with a boundless heart, hold yourself in all beings. Another deep breath in. Exhale out, and then begin to make your way into your Shavasana. So you can take your legs out long, move them a little bit. I always like to come forward for a couple breaths over my long legs in Paschimottanasana. Roll something underneath your knees. And then begin to lower yourself down for Shavasana. I always like to join you. It feels so nice after doing a full practice. Take a few moments for this active rest, conscious rest. So bring your mind to participate within the body, not running off to its legions of discursive thought, but resting in peace. slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. This peace that can exist in the times of war, so that we can be able to be agents to be here for a few more words from the Buddha. It says, live in joy and love, even among those who hate. This is our protest against hate and violence. Live in joy and health, even among the afflicted. Live in joy and peace, even among the troubled. Look within and be still, free from fear and attachment. You get to stretch your arms over your head. Move your body, making sure you're healthy and nurtured. Give a hug of your knees into your chest and roll over to your right side. And then begin to make your way up to sit. And take a couple more moments in that gesture of prayer. Again, prayers are powerful not only in the head, but when our prayers are action. May I in all beings be free from pain and sorrow. May I in all beings be held in compassion. May I in all beings be reconciled. May I in all beings be at peace. We make our way back into the rest of the day. Just see how we can make our prayers action. Next morning. Breath in together. And with bowing down and honoring one another in gratitude and reverence and in respect for each other, for these teachings. I'm certainly grateful for all of you continuing your practice with us here on Body and Soul. And of course, if you haven't heard, we will be opening up our physical space to practice in August. So looking forward to seeing you here very soon or in person. I can't